Hello electronic friends, welcome to this new video. In this video we will learn how to turn an LED on and off using a single button. For this video we will be using an Arduino Uno, a breadboard with a 1K resistor, a red LED diode, and a 2-pin normally open button. Let's put it there. 3 Arduino connection cables, these cables are male type, and our cable to upload the program. Now we enter our Arduino IDE and we are going to write this code that I will be leaving in the description. This code works as follows. First, we declare 3 global variables as integer type. We are going to declare the first variable, which is the LED variable, on pin number 13. We are going to declare the second, which is the button, on pin number 5. And we are going to leave the last variable, which is state, as a variable of integer type. Then in the voice tab we are going to configure the LED as an output using the variable code, using the pinMode function. Then we are going to configure the button as an input, but as an input connected to a pull-up resistor. This configuration is going to be done internally, and we do it so that we physically do not have to connect a resistor to our push button on our breadboard. We also do this configuration using the pinMode function. Then using digitalWrite we are going to declare the variable code. The state variable will take the value of 0, and with that we would be finishing the configuration in the voice tab. Then in the voice loop we are going to create a while loop, and this while loop will be executed as long as the button is at high. That means that when we are not pressing the button. If we are not pressing the button, that means it is on high. So in the voice loop we are going to create a while loop. The while loop will be executed, and that means that the other line of code will not be executed. When we press the button, that means that the button state will go to long down. Then this while condition will go false, and this loop will no longer be executed. That means that the next instruction will be executed, which is that we are going to read the LED with digitalRead and the value of the state of the LED. We are going to save it in the state variable. Then using digitalRead we are going to modify the state of the LED so that it takes on a different state than the state it was in. That means that if first the state variable was low, so our LED is now going to take a different state since we're using this different sign. That means that now our LED is going to turn on. And then we have created this other while loop so that when our button is in long, this means that when this loop is pressed it will come into operation so that the program is not repeated again. Once we stop pressing the button, this while loop will no longer be executed and everything will start from the beginning. And suppose now as our LED is on, we press our button again. Then the while loop is disabled and these other 2 instructions will be executed. What are we going to read the LED and how the LED is now at high? The LED status will also be high. The state variable will be high. Then with digitalWrite we are going to modify the value of the LED so that it takes a different value than the one it was in. That means that as it is at high, now it will take a different value, which means that it is going to go into high. And so we will be able to turn our LED on and off using just one button. This would be our program. We are going to compile it. Ready, it's compiled. We observe that it does not have any errors. Now we connect our Arduino to the computer. Ready, I connected it. We make sure that it is connected to port number 13. If it doesn't appear that way to you, simply go to Tools. They make sure to select the board they are using. I am using an Arduino Uno. I have selected it in Arduino Uno. If you are using another board, check carefully which plate they are using so that they select it. And then we select the port. In my case it would be COM3. Ready once we have all that selected. Let's upload our program. We already have the program uploaded to our Arduino. Now we will move on to making the connections. I am going to disconnect the Arduino from power or the computer. And I'm going to take the breadboard. I'm going to remove all the components to make it from scratch. And the first thing I'm going to do, it is to identify this blue line. What is the negative line? And I'm going to take the button. I am going to connect one pin to the negative line of the breadboard. And I'm going to connect the other one in row number 23 of the breadboard. Alright. We're going to connect it. And we just enter it. Ready, now we take the LED diode. And the longest pin would be the anode. The shortest pin would be the cathode. So we're going to grab the cathode, which is the shortest pin. And we will connect it to the negative row of the breadboard. And the other we will connect to any of the rows. In this case in row number 14. Ready. Now let's take the resistance. And one of the resistor pins. We will connect it where the anode or the LED is. In row number 14. And the other in any of the other rows. In this case it would be in row number 11. And it has to stay like this. The connections should remain this way. Now I'm going to grab this cable, which is brown. And I'll connect it to the negative line of the breadboard. On the blue line. And I will connect the other pin to the GND of our Arduino. We have 2 GNDs in this part. And I connect it to any one. Now I'm going to take the white wire. And I'm going to connect a pin to the pin that is here. To this button pin. Which would be in row number 23. I just plug it in. I make sure it is well connected. And the other pin I am going to connect to pin number 5 of the Arduino. Alright. There it is connected to pin number 5. Finally we are going to take the red cable. And we are going to connect it right to the resistance. Where there is nothing connected. Which is in row number 11. Here we will connect this cable. Ready. We have it connected there, and we will connect the other end to pin number 13 of our Arduino. Alright. So this is how the connections should remain. And now we can connect it to our laptop or computer. Ready. Once we have everything connected, we'll go ahead and try it. If I press it, it should turn on. And if I press it again, it should turn off. Perfect. It's working perfectly. Pulse turns on. Pulse turns off. Pulse turns on. Pulse turns off. Pulse turns on. Pulse turns off. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like. And subscribe to my channel. Until next time, electronics.